right, and we are live. What is going on, my specialist SPC here? And welcome to this very just late stream I decided I wanted to do. I just kind of wanted to come on here and just hang out with a couple people here for my birthday today because I just turned 31 today. So yippee for that. Yeah. So yeah, invited a few people. We got the Brett man here from Good Real Hunting. How are you doing, man? Thanks so much for popping on.
Dude, absolutely, man. I am doing great. Just taking it easy. I'm taking a little break from action movies because me and Brad are working on our annual Real March Madness tournament. And this year we're doing best action movies. So it's not going to be an easy task, but it's an explosive task. And we are very excited. In 2 weeks' time, we are very excited to bring that show to everybody. But other than that, man, I've been great. Once again, I am honored to be on your channel, especially on your birthday, man. I know that's exciting for you, man. So
yeah, this is the first time I've done anything here on my channel for my birthday. So yeah, it should be a good time. Probably only going to go for about an hour or so. Just kind of been a long day, but just kind of wanted to come on here and just hang out with you guys and chat, maybe do a Q&A, maybe talk about some good and absolutely terrible movies we've watched here over the last few days because oh boy, I have definitely watched a few.
Oh man, but no, yeah. Speaking of the Real March Madness tournament, since this is a Star Wars channel, you'll be happy to know that Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, is in the Real March Madness tournament.
Ooh, yes.
Because if we did The Empire Strikes Back, it'd be game over, and that wouldn't be fair. So we just did like the one with the most action to it, and we picked the most action-based Star Wars movie of all time, and that's easily Episode 3.
Yeah, actually, to my knowledge, I think it's got the longest. I don't know how they word it, like the longest sword fight in cinema history right now, with Anakin and Vader at the end of the film.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Ooh, I have to see that one. I should ask, is Terminator on there?
Of course, Terminator's on there, and I'm glad you asked too, because we've released today that this coming Saturday, like the next Saturday coming up, we're going to be doing a live Flicks with a Felix episode to get people hyped up for the Real March Madness with a Terminator watch party.
Yes, God, that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
And not only that, T2 is also in the tournament.
Ooh, okay.
And they're on the same side of the bracket too, so they could be meeting in the Final Four, potentially.
I have a feeling that one's going to end up winning, I feel.
T2, I have a good fit. That's my early pick to win it. If I'm just guessing, but what we normally do is me and Brad do the first 2 rounds, and like me, Brad, and our buddy Chris, who's also part of Good Real Hunting as well. And then after that, Sweet 16 and onwards, we let the people in the chat vote. So if you got a particular movie, be sure to hang out in the chat and vote.
Definitely have to check that one out.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a couple guys here. We got Padawan Pops here. Happy birthday. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Star Wars Sith, my buddy Tony. Thank you, man. And Ledger Forever is here as well. Thank you. And he's got two questions for us already.
All right.
So what is your least favorite movie franchise?
Oh, man, if we're talking about all time, damn. I'm gonna have to take a minute to think on that. I had like a horror answer ready, but like for a regular movie, I have never thought about that before because I normally stay away from bad movies on the typical scale.
Yeah, man, that's a good question. I mean, there's quite a few. I don't know why, for whatever reason, Friday the 13th is coming to my mind, but I love Friday the 13th. The franchise. There's a lot of bad movies in there, man, but there's also a lot of like guilty pleasures in there.
That's the other reason I didn't want to say it because
Man.
that is my favorite horror franchise right there, honestly. So
Oh, okay.
even
Okay.
though I think the best one, technically the best horror franchise of all time is Evil Dead because of the quality of films. But if we're going like another great one, Scream franchise. But my personal favorite is definitely the guy in the hockey mask because that's the first horror franchise that I got introduced to in the world of horror. So it's just stuck straight to me, man.
Hmm. So your
But
favorite horror icon then too?
oh yeah, absolutely. So he's the man. Jason is. But to answer this question, for some reason, the first franchise I thought of, I'm like, it's actually Thor.
Thor. Okay. That's a
Yeah,
good pick.
one of the four movies like was good, and the other three was just like, you get those away from me. Especially the Ragnarok one. I know a lot of people love Ragnarok, but the reason I hate it is because it's supposed to be a dark, serious movie. If then you get this guy named Tiki or whatever his name is, Tiki Waki, or and he makes it absolutely the biggest joke on the planet, and I hate him for that. He's a great comedic director, I give him that, but like when you're supposed to take a dark, serious subject and one of the most important moments in the MCU of Ragnarok and make it a joke, I have a problem with that.
Yeah, they gave him a Star Wars movie, so I'm gonna.
That I am very concerned with.
Yeah, I am as well. I haven't seen Love and Thunder, and I don't know if I want to.
Don't
I've
waste of
seen
time.
clips. Yeah, I've seen clips and stills, and I've heard a lot of people talk about it too. But oh yeah, I'm good.
No, only one good thing about Love and Thunder, and that is our boy Christian Bale. And put him being the bad guy. Even he couldn't save the movie, so it's just that bad.
Damn, that sucks to hear. I don't know. I think I might have to go with Hellraiser because I mean, there's like a
Mhm.
span of like 4 or 5 movies in a row. Like it's like they just picked a random cop film. They just took it off the shelf and they're like, okay, a page 22, 67, and 103. Let's throw Pinhead in there and we'll call it good.
um,
No.
Yeah, that's a good answer. The other night when me and Brad did our top horror like movies that should be a actual series, I definitely think Hellraiser can really perfect his craft in a series more than a movie. But I think Hellraiser is a good answer, even though the first one's excellent. I hear a lot of great things about the second one. Third one I heard's okay, and the rest suck.
Yeah, I think I've only seen maybe like half of them, but I want to see the remake. The remake actually looks like it's going to be pretty good.
Oh, you've not seen the remake?
No
You need to. It's on Hulu, and it's really good. The only thing that movie could have used more of is more blood.
blood. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. And Ledger again. What is the most accessible movie franchise? For me, it's Daniel Craig's James Bond era, and all 5 are awesome films and very rewatchable to a Bond fanatic like me.
Mm.
We did just watch No Time to Die here a few days ago with Ledger. It was pretty good. It was his first time watching the film too, so that was pretty cool getting to get his reaction. But
Oh, and this is no defense, Ledger, because we all did it. We're all men here. We can tell the truth. We all cried at the end. I know.
yes, yes, I did when
Can't
I went
even
to
look
this in
at a whiskey
theaters.
glass ever the same. Oh man,
uh,
but no, that's my answer too. Is Daniel Craig's Bond movies? They are all absolutely spectacular. Maybe not Quantum of Solace and Spectre, but at least those are still actually have their entertaining qualities. But come on, the King of Kings is Casino Royale, Skyfall, which was one of my favorite movies for a long time, and then No Time to Die. All of it's spectacular, but now I still think that Casino Royale is the best of Daniel Craig's 5 movies.
yeah, I
And
No Time to Die is my favorite.
Ooh, dude, and I don't blame you. And Casino Royale is also in the real March Madness too, so we did throw in a Bond movie in there, and we got GoldenEye just for all the '90s kids with the Nintendo 64. So
Nice. Love it. I mean, an obvious answer for me would be Star Wars, if I'm being honest with you. There's not a single film I hate. Like, Attack of the Clones is easily the weakest of them all, but I still think it's solid. It's still watchable. And yes, I even like this film back here and the other one hiding back here. I know a lot of people don't, but I understand. It's like my new love I've received here the last few years for Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And even though I know you don't like it, Brett, but even for Halloween Ends, like, I have a good love for it now. But again, I totally understand. Totally.
I'm smiling.
Why so serious?
Why so serious? Which again, that's funny too, because that's the number one overall movie in the entire tournament is The Dark Knight.
Yeah,
like number one seed across the board. Like when you combine all the numbers.
Okay.
But yeah, no. To Scott, talk about that back movie right there. You talked about oh my gosh, why can't I even think of the movie right there? Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Is it The Last Jedi?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. I was like, God, why am I having a major brain fart? Like, I'm the Star Wars fan. I know better than this. Actually, I didn't have a problem with the movie, except they could have easily cut out the Gold City.
Okay.
That's pretty much all they mainly needed to do, and I feel like it could have done a lot better. I know, again, I'm with you. I get why people hate it. As soon as Luke Skywalker got the lightsaber and just toss it right behind him, yeah, I get it. But here's here was the main problem of the movie, and a lot of people could agree with this. It's the director. This is like these Star Wars sequel trilogies. So it's the ultimate like trilogy you can look back on for a lot of fans and just say, this is what you're not supposed to do in a trilogy or any like movie development in a franchise ever. You do not ever switch a director mid-film. Like, because the second one is supposed to, like, Star Wars The Force Awakens, that's A. And the job for A is to set up for B. If it B sets up the big finale for C, B just tried so hard to be A when it's not supposed to be an A. It's supposed to be a B. And that's where it fucked up everything.
I would agree with you there. I don't know why it ever went there. And even before the movie comes out, they announced that Rian Johnson gets his own trilogy, and it's constantly up in the air whether or not we're actually going to be getting that or not. So,
well, here's the thing. I'm okay with if he just wants to do all three movies, and I know for a fact he's directing all three. I think he has the ability to make a good Star Wars trilogy. Because I will say, for The Last Jedi, definitely very beautiful to watch. Like from a cinematography and editing, and even the choreograph with that throne room fight. I thought all that was absolutely spectacular. It's just everything else about it. Like, you just can't switch directors and switch the vision of what that trilogy is supposed to be, even though I heard there wasn't really a plan. Yeah, but if Rian Johnston, if he is directing all three movies and all his vision and all of his plan, I think he could be very successful.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I think if he's just got one singular vision and it goes through all the way, I'm cool with it. I don't have a problem with it. It's just, yeah, I just wish that JJ would have just done the entire trilogy. I think it would have been better. No,
because that's what the last movie was. It was pretty much his sequel and his trilogy combined into one movie, and that's what made that movie not quite as popular. Even though I still thought it did a really good job trying to fix things while getting to the end game of Star Wars at that point. But like, if it was, like, you're right, if it was JJ, he would have easily made it a lot cleaner and a lot smoother ride.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I kind of wish it would have stuck with him, but what can you do now?
Just move on, enjoy them, or if you hate them, just make it a doorstop. Like I heard they were good doorstops. So
Yeah, right. Ledger, just watched the original Leprechaun today, and it stunk.
hmm
I've watched
I
it
have not
once.
seen it either, but that's what I always hear.
I watched it once, like a decade ago. I couldn't even tell you. The only thing I know remember about is that Warwick Davis is the Leprechaun and Jennifer Aniston is in it. That's all I could tell you about it.
Wearing a jeans singlet or something like that. Just whoever was in charge of the clothing department didn't do a very good job.
Yeah. Don't see Love and Thunder. I beg you. Okay. Well, fair enough. Finally, some real men that can admit that we cried. Yes.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I watched Wonka earlier today, and it almost got me with how emotional it was at the end. So, but came close. Not no cigar though, but came close. So, like, if it tells a really good story and I'm invested in the characters and a little tear, I'm like, well, double more points to your movie for doing that because it really takes a lot for a movie to get me to get at least like a little tear. But that
Mhm.
particular scene and the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah, I don't watch those things very often.
The movie I went to last night almost made me cry, and not in a good way, unfortunately.
I want my money back.
Uh, man, there were like 4 times I really thought about walking out of the theater. It
Oh,
sucked too because like most of our theater was like, if I could guess, between the ages of like 10 and 15.
oh, that makes it worse.
Yeah, yes, they were all talking and laughing and making jokes and Snapchatting and everything. I'm like, God,
Oh my
you guys,
gosh, dude!
you guys suck.
I'll tell you a story. First off, I had that same experience with had that same experience with Truth or Dare. Had a bunch of 13-year-old teenage girls just talking loudly and making fun of the movie throughout. But the worst one of the worst ones I've ever done was my second viewing of Scream 5 in the theater. There's these two girls Snapchatted the entire time, taking pictures and messaging people with the flash on.
Yep, yep, that was the girls in front of us. I was like, really? Like, you guys paid money to come watch this,
They
and you're
might
just
have
gonna
been the
wear your.
same girls.
Oh my god! I hope. Oh man.
But no, it's so bad. Like I don't care if you Snapchat, but like don't put the flash on. That doesn't make any fucking sense. But
Mhm.
like luckily for me though, this was my second viewing of Scream 5. The only reason I watched it again is, to pick on the clues before I
Yep.
could do a proper Scream review. Because to do a proper Scream review, you need to watch the movie twice.
Yep. I'll agree with you there. We got McLovin it here. Happy birthday. Thank you. Appreciate that. I will die on the hill that Quantum of Solace and Spectre were fantastic. I've only seen all of the James
Oh,
Bond
he
movies
did
once.
upgrade it to great.
Oh, okay. Too great. Okay. Okay.
Okay, that hey, I respect that.
I'm now starting to regret telling myself that I would rank the franchise. Props to Nick for binging the series. Yeah, those are a lot of movies. I think it's like what, 25, 26 James Bond movies.
Oh yeah, our but that's he's mentioning our buddy Nick from the movie Ranker, right?
Yep.
Yeah, dude. First off, love his channel, and Nick is such a great guy. Yeah, major props to him because me and Brad were planning on doing that, but then again, time got on our side on that, so we had to drop the project. But man, I give Nick all the credit in the world. 26 movies is rough, but you know what? If there's anybody that do it, it's the movie Ranker.
Uh yeah, man, that's like the specialist ranking I did last year, the 32 movies between 5 franchises. Yeah, that was a lot of movies to watch.
Ooh, which ones did you do? Because that sounds like the series Cody Leach and Sean Chandler do over. Oh, what they do is like their 31 movies of October or something like that.
Yeah, they're 31 on 31. It's
Yeah.
kind of similar, but I try to do where it's just 5 franchises in a specific genre, but we did sci-fi action. So we did Terminator, Predator, Alien, Planet of the Apes, and RoboCop. We did all of those.
Dude, great choices.
Yes, they were all good. Yeah, me, Nick, and Jason from Backtrack Cinema. We all did that back in August.
Oh,
It was,
cool.
it was pretty fun. It was a lot of
work.
a lot of work, a lot of opinions. I had probably the most unpopular list out of everybody. I had movies that people would have as like probably top 3. I had in like the middle. I had movies that would be in like the bottom towards like the top 10. And
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go back to that video and watch that just to get your unpopular opinion, because me and Brad always establish on our channel we love looking at different opinions.
yeah, like I tell you every time you're on here, man, if you want unpopular opinions, you should see my ranking for the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Those are,
oh no.
Ooh, yeah.
As long as the original's still number 1, I'm okay with that.
You'll be disappointed it's not even in the top 3. yeah. Dude, it's so unpopular, but it's so worth it. Eventually I will talk about Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know when. I killed Brett. Oh, he's okay. Okay, good.
No, I'm good. Sorry. I could have swore for me you said it didn't make your top 3.
Yeah, no, I never said that at all.
Nah, but okay, so I'm gonna have to ask, what's your number 1?
Freddy versus Jason.
Okay. If we don't count that movie, even though technically it is a Freddy movie, but let's just say let's not count that. What's your number 1?
Oh, you really want to know?
Yes, do it.
The Nightmare remake.
My dude, there's another defender out there. I'm a defender of the remake.
I love it. I don't understand. I understand some of the hate. I don't understand all of the hate, but I love it.
Yeah, like if they just would have made Katie Cassidy the final girl, and they just did the practical effect route versus the special effects route, movie would have been excellent.
Yeah. That's definitely my my biggest complaint for the movie too.
Oh, and keep Freddy in the dark too, because once he got light on him,
yeah, it was a bit rough. I love the nightmare sequences, man. Like the transitions.
They were great.
They're fantastic.
Like it's just led by bad direction and bad acting, but mainly bad acting came from bad direction from mainly just the director can kiss my ass. Like that's like the director, the production team, the studio, like they fucked that movie up. They could have had something very special, but it is what it is. But I'm glad there's another defender out there, so I appreciate your service, good sir.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy it. I know a lot of people don't. I do. I really like it. Just like my opinion on Alien 3, man. I think that movie is so overhated. Like, so
I
overhated.
still need to see that one.
Okay, you haven't seen Alien 3.
I haven't seen Alien 3, 4.
You can skip 4.
I've seen Alien versus Predator. I could barely see Alien versus Predator 2. I could barely see it because the movie was so damn dark. And then Prometheus made me fall asleep, and Covenant made me fall asleep.
Yeah. 3, like I said, 3 is completely overhated in my opinion. The worst for me is Resurrection, so that's Alien 4, and I just
anything Resurrection is the most hated.
yeah, you got that right. Ledger, the film I went to last night was Imaginary. It was not good. Some good things, like me and Brett were talking earlier. Good concept, but yeah, just don't go see it. It's not worth it, in my opinion. The View with Drew. Hey, what's up, everyone? How's it going, man? And are you excited for X-Men 97?
Ooh. Don't have Disney Plus, so unfortunately, I will be missing it. But the X Men anime series was part of my childhood, so I'm excited, and I'm just gonna hopefully my fellow Nineans can just give that extra support since I can't watch it. But I'm very happy for everybody else that's excited.
I was more of a fan of X-Men Evolution when I was growing up, but it's still cool to see us getting some more X-Men stuff because there's not really been a lot over the last handful of years. I mean, the best mutant stuff we've gotten, in my opinion, has been Deadpool. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't seen that New Mutants at all. I don't know, it just doesn't look interesting enough for me to want to watch.
Yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy could not save that movie.
Oh yes, she is in that, isn't she?
Mm-hmm. And I would think that would be the only reason why I would watch it. When I get to it, like that would be the only reason I watch it. But other than that, yeah, that movie can fuck off.
Oh, Ledger. I meant. Oh, okay. So earlier when he was talking about the. Okay, I get it now. Nick going through the movies. It was Leprechaun. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
and even more props to Nick for ranking that franchise.
oh my gosh! Wow. Oh, you're a braver man than I am, man. I've only watched the first one. And that's probably as far as I will ever get in that franchise ever.
I've only seen Leprechaun Legends out of that entire franchise.
Is that the one with
But
Hornswoggle?
yep, because I'm a WWE guy and I have to
Yeah,
support
I
my
knew it.
boy Horny.
I
I have to
knew it.
support him.
What was it any good? Was he? Was
Fuck
he at
no.
least good?
No. They made him like some freaking pumpkin head looking motherfucker. Like I don't know what the hell they were doing. It
Oh,
was awful. He didn't even have a green hat. Like it pissed me off.
oh my gosh, that would have been the perfect guy. Actually, have him like play
Yeah.
the leprechaun, but
I'm a leprechaun, my dear.
oh my gosh. Do not, under any circumstances, ever in a million years, even come within 1,000 miles of the New Mutants. Wow, it's
Mm,
that bad. Huh? Wow,
damn. So pretty much stay in a galaxy far, far away.
fair enough. I think I can manage that. The View with Drew, what do you think is the worst superhero movie trilogy? I think the Ant-Man trilogy.
Okay.
The
I'm gonna have
worst.
let me think on this for a minute because I said earlier worst franchise is the Thor franchise, like the four Thor Thor shoot trying to think here. But yeah, that's why I said with the worst franchise is the Thor franchise. But trilogy, I gotta think on that for a minute. That's a good one. Um
Yeah. Wow.
does
I mean, I know a
Fantastic
lot.
Four count?
I don't think so. I don't
Because
think
there's
there'd
three
be.
movies. But I know it's not a trilogy technically, but
Yeah, I don't think so. Because I know the
uh,
first two have the same people in, and that second one or that last one apparently doesn't
yeah,
exist.
we do not talk about the last one. Um, that's why I'm super excited for MCU to finally do it right.
Yeah.
Um, Wolverine
Man.
trilogy. Oh, really? The Wolverine trilogy? Even Logan?
Hmm.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh
Which
my
do you like
gosh.
more? I've only seen Logan. I haven't seen. I haven't seen the Wolverine or what's the other one? Just X-Men Origins Wolverine. I
Yeah,
think's the other one. I
skip.
haven't seen. I haven't seen
Talk
any of
about the most
those.
CGI looking claws you will ever see in your entire life.
See, that's another
Bad.
thing I hear about. My buddy, he played the game on the PS2, and apparently that's like one of his favorite games. Apparently the game was miles better
Hmm.
than the film.
I remember the game. Like the game was fun.
Hmm.
Um, trilogy. Oh, okay, okay. Sorry. Let's see here. Okay, so it does have to be Marvel. Okay, so I can do a little bit more thinking here. Um,
I'm trying to think if anybody in the DCEU had a trilogy.
Well, no, because they've all sucked so bad they couldn't get a trilogy. Uh,
That is fair. That is fair.
uh,
Man,
hmm.
that's a hard question.
I'll probably tell you my first gut, but even though I know I'm going to get a lot of flack about it, for some reason, the only one I can truly think of at the moment is Blade.
Blade. Okay.
Even though the first one's good, second one okay, and the third one absolute garbage. Even though with the whole cast they got for the third one, it shouldn't have been garbage.
That one's got Triple H, right?
Yep. And let
Okay.
me warn you, something. I just ate a lot of garlic, and I just farted. Silent but deadly.
Jesus.
God, it's so bad. But so far, Blade is the one. If I could think of another one, I'll say it. I'm sure I am obviously missing one. But
Man, I cannot think of any other superhero trilogies. Like, there's, we got the Spider-Man trilogy. I like the Spider-Man trilogy.
yeah, see, it's one of the goats in the trilogies for Marvel. Iron Man trilogy's good. Captain America trilogy might be the best one in terms of trilogies. Actually, maybe Tom Holland's Spider-Man might be the best. Actually, no, screw it. It's the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's the best trilogy right there. All movies, but I wouldn't say spectacular. First and the third one, spectacular. Second one, mediocre. You could take that movie as you will. But probably the Spider-Man movies for Tom Holland is my favorite. Oh, actually, no, sorry. The Tobey Maguire probably might be my favorite trilogy. But it would have been Andrew Garfield if he would have justifiably gotten his third movie because I love that world of Spider-Man.
Yeah, I kind of wish they would have done it. And I know though there's a lot of talks again now that they're thinking about giving Toby a movie again. So I'd assume at some point they might think about doing that too.
Yeah, and Toby deserves it though because like they definitely ended Spider-Man 3 on such a cliffhanger. Like they need to like readjust that whole entire world and give us that proper ending, in my opinion. So I think that would be a good call. But definitely, I want to see Andrew Garfield where he said he got ugly, like where he got mad, frustrated. I would love because I think Andrew Garfield can knock that out of the park in a performance.
Oh, yes, I totally agree there.
Or
So
excuse
yeah,
me,
there's
Peter
not
3.
Peter 3. Oh yeah.
Peter
Peter
3.
3. Yeah, but there's not much on here, man. There's Blade. There's the Spider-Man.
Oh, never
Unbreakable.
mind. The V with Drew wins. I totally forgot. I'm such an asshole. The Dark Knight trilogy, best trilogy of all time for a hero.
Mm,
So the V with Drew, I absolutely agree with you.
I respect it, but disagree, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. See, again, I love different opinions.
Ledger, if
Tell
you're
me.
still in here, I already know you don't like when I say it, but I kind of have to. I like the Dark Knight. I just think it's very overrated. I don't think it's a good Batman movie. It's a good movie. As far as a good Batman movie,
I'm smiling, having a good time. Oh crap! I did the fireworks.
oh, what the heck?
I forgot how I did that. I know it's is it the no thumbs up is yeah, I got powers on StreamYard if you didn't know that.
What the heck? Yeah, I didn't know that. Uh, I don't know. I guess
Anyway,
I'd have to
there
go
it
with
is.
Brett. What the heck? How do you do that?
I don't know. I just got powers, like L for love right here. So
What the hell? This is weird.
I know Brad gets so bad when I do it, like because he can't do it.
Man, what the hell? Yeah,
I forgot how to do the fireworks one, but I could do the balloons. Normally, balloons happen here.
Huh.
Oh, wait a minute. It's this. Oh, that's confetti. They changed it. But anyways, I got powers here, ladies and gentlemen.
What the hell? That's crazy. Yeah, I guess I'd have to second with Brett. I mean, I guess we'll have to go with Blade. I can't think of any really bad trilogies. I mean, there's great trilogies. I mean, again, he said Dark Knight, the Sam Raimi trilogy, Tom Holland trilogy. Definitely agree with the Captain America trilogy. That is just chef's kiss. Love it.
Most underrated one's the Iron Man one, because at least it did definitely tell the arc of Tony Stark throughout 3 movies, like to perfection.
Yeah, I agree with that. Origins is underrated, but the CGI sucks. Okay. And of course, the Dark Knight trilogy.
Phenomenal.
Soon you can see Venom.
Oh, and it's the worst trilogy.
I like both the Venom movies. They're like pretty even for me personally.
First one's good.
I do like Carnage
I did
a little bit more than the first film.
Okay, and that's fair. But to me, the Carnage movie, it was fine. It had to be rated R, though. That was the major issue with it. It had to be rated R. If you're doing the Carnage character, you have to make him rated R, or else it don't work.
Mm-hmm. I think just Venom in general. I think that should definitely be R-rated, but
and I agree with that too. But especially the direction they wanted to go with it. Instead of the whole like, I love you too. Like
no. I will let you eat whoever you want. Promise? Yeah. Like, okay.
Jump. Ding. Pussy.
I love that scene.
I'll bet that was the only good joke in that entire series.
Man, yeah. Yeah, I suppose, yeah. What Spider-Man movie villain do you think is the worst? I think Rhino from Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah.
I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I would say him too, because he's just, I don't know, he's kind of meh. I mean, he's played by a great actor, Paul Giamatti. He's great, but I would honestly say like second, maybe. I mean, it's hard because I think all the villains are good in all the movies, but second one I'd probably say would be like the Sandman. I didn't really mind the Sandman, but I didn't love him. I liked him more in No Way Home than I did Spider-Man 3.
The worst one. Okay, we're talking about movie here, because if we weren't talking about movie, I would have easily gone Hammerhead. But if we're just talking about a movie, like the villains portrayed on the screen, I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for this. Venom from Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
Because they didn't spend a lot of time once Eddie Brock got the suit. They just immediately, he got sued. He wittingly direct evil. Blah, blah, blah. That's it. Versus throughout the entirety of the movie, let that whole thing build. Like, again, if it was my franchise, I would have done Sandman and Symbiote Spider-Man as the third movie. And then you do your fourth movie fully just straight up Spider-Man and Venom. But they didn't do that. They rushed everything. And so definitely I say that Venom from Spider-Man 3, I think is the worst Spider-Man movie villain to ever be portrayed. And I know a lot of people are going to say Mysterio too.
I do have a new one. Actually, I think who is actually the worst. I would go honestly probably with the Green Goblin from the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
And that's fair, because that's the exact same reason I said for Venom for Spider-Man 3. Even though I feel like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 did a better job at it, but I totally understand where you're coming from with that. They could have made that that could have been the Amazing Spider-Man 3, in my opinion.
Yeah, that just all that stuff with the Osborn stuff. I hated it. It was so stupid. God, I hated it. At least Electro was redeemed in No Way Home. Yeah, agree with
Is it a
that.
little weird in the middle of the woods, butt ass naked? Like, but no, but okay, I actually did follow up the new one. If we're playing by technicalities here, I would probably say the worst Spider-Man villain portrayed as a movie is the Shocker. Because technically in Spider-Man Homecoming, when the guy had like the metal hand, technically that's a Shocker.
Yep.
Not a good portrayal. That's why I think he's the worst. So that's my new answer.
Okay, the Shocker. Okay. Yeah, he really doesn't do anything.
Nope, he's just
literally.
treated like absolute dirt. And he has a very dangerous power, so it pissed me off.
Yes. And Ledger, that pains me. Yeah, I know, buddy, but I just got to be honest with you. I know you love the Dark Knight, but
I know.
Sorry, man. I think the Batman is better.
What do we do now? Ledger Forever? You'll probably say it's simple. We kill the SPC.
Oh boy. At least wait for us to get off stream. I don't want it to happen on stream.
Have you ever seen the parody trailer for The Dark Knight?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure if that. I can't remember if that video is still available. If it is, I'll send it to you. But it is absolutely hilarious. They do that scene where he goes, "Well, what's your plan, fan? It's simple. We kill the Batman." If you see from our charts, we used to be awesome, and then we dropped. I don't know what happened, and I just really want us to go right back up to awesome. And the big crime boss is like, "Go back to awesome. Why do we? You know what? We should kill Batman." God, what an idiot!
Oh my god!
I gotta find that video because it's so hilarious. Because of how stupid it is.
Oh yeah, if you find it, send that to me. That sounds right up my alley.
Oh, I haven't even told you the funniest part, but I'll let you experience it. Again, I'm going to be on the hunt for it after this stream.
All right.
Actually, better, yeah.
I got Sub Monkey here. Hey SPC, happy birthday! Thank you, man. And then, would you go into a haunted house in reality for $1 million or $5 million? They're going to give you all the equipment and other stuff to go into the house from The Conjuring. I'll be honest, I would go in for free as long as I had one or two people with me. I would be plenty good. But no Ouija board. Got to keep the Ouija board away.
No. Do not fuck with the Ouija boards ever. Even though Brad said if we get to 2,500 subscribers, I do a Ouija board. That's bullshit. I'm not doing it.
No, don't.
Like, if you've not watched The Exorcist, if you've not watched Conjuring 2, you should learn by now nothing good comes from a Ouija board. And to answer your question, no, I would not do it for that amount of money because I respect the dead too much. So
it's a good answer. That's like the people who go down to the Titanic, man. Like, I love the Titanic, but
yeah, leave the Titanic alone. Leave those people alone. Hey, even though the Titanic got a new best friend last year, but like, God, that's too soon. God, I'm such a dick. I didn't even mean to do that joke too. It's just, oh my god,
man, I just came out like that. Like, oh yeah, they just got new friends last year. Like, wow, damn, man.
I am canceled.
Oh man. It's not funny, but it's funny. Oh man. What movie representation of a comic book villain do you think is the worst? I think Bane in Batman and Robin.
Bingo. That is the right answer. There's no other answer.
Well, I was going to say this. Well, at least Mr. Freeze was funny, but the ice puns, Bane was insulting. I didn't like Arnold in that movie, man.
I'm starting to appreciate him more, but again, it's more towards direction. And it's just Arnold just said, "Hey, I want to be this guy, and I want to have fun." And they gave it to him, and he made it fun because at least he's memorable. Whether he was bad, memorable, or good, you remembered, and that is a good thing for a movie.
What do you remember about George Clooney's Batman?
Back card. Never leave the cave without it.
Oh, okay. I'll give you that one. That one's fine.
Bat nips.
Bat nips. Bat ass.
My lips are immune to your charms.
So stupid. Did you watch The Flash?
Which one?
The movie that came out last year?
Yes, I did, and I actually did like it. It has gone down since then, but I really did like it. But the CGI really held it back. Because I'll just tell you this now. Again, I hope we learned something this past last year that $200 million, like I'm just guessing, but 200 million went into making the Flash movie, right, or somewhere around there.
Something like that.
Godzilla minus one made their movie for $15 million, and it looks as good as any $200 million budget I've seen in my entire life. So I'm hoping we change the game with Godzilla minus one, and that these movie studios finally take notes and say, you can make a good movie with good CGI, just quit CGIing the shit out of it.
Dude, yeah, I know. That ended up being my favorite movie of last year. Man, that was...
It was too, right at the end too.
Yeah, that was the last movie I saw for the year. And yeah, wow, that was... Man.
It was mine too, and I'm like, Aquaman's out. No, Aquaman can wait later on because I'm making this my number one, like, or my last movie of 2023. I don't want anything to fuck it up.
From March till the time I went to minus one, it was Scream 6. But yeah, as soon as I walked out, man, I was like, yep, number one, that best movie of the year so far.
Mine was Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It was my number one for like a great chunk of the year. And then when I was on Godzilla, I'm like, yeah, this wins.
Yes. Especially, I've been like huge into like international cinema for like the last 5 years, man. I just, love it. Train to Busan, The Wailing. I saw
Train
The
to
Devil.
Busan.
Oh, I never did get your official review. What did you think of Old Boy?
Oh boy. Oh boy. No, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to throw that pun out there. But oh boy, it was extremely, extremely slow. And I thought it would have more action to it, even though the two big action scenes they do to it were fun. And I'm like, okay, this is just going to be a solid 3 and all that. And then the ending of it shot up to a 4.5 out of 5.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Holy shit with the ending. I do not want to spoil it. Go in blind. Oh boy, on Netflix. Not official sponsor, but do it.
Yeah, man, I've loved Korean cinema, and that's one of them. I've been seeing that apparently you need to watch. Like, I saw The Devil. If you haven't seen that, it's a brutal movie. You'll like it. It's pretty good.
Put it in my pocket. But I'll tell you this though, Australian horror, criminally underrated.
Australian horror, okay.
You know, movies like The Loved Ones. Have you seen The Loved Ones?
I haven't even heard of that one.
Highly suggested. Great movie. There's a movie called Bait 3D. Very fun shark movie with my girl Sharni Vision in it. She's beautiful. Opening scene. You'll thank me. And then, of course, the big blockbuster movie from last year, Talk to Me, is an Australian horror movie.
Really?
Because they went for the festival circuit and they got to the big film festival circuit and it won awards, and that's why they got A24 bought it. But it technically is a Australian horror movie because it was an Australian based cast.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Even our main girl in it, Sophie Weil, Australian, from what I understood.
Huh. I wonder.
Oh, do you have it with you right there?
No, but I have this wonderful, amazing, terrifying movie, The Babadook.
The Babadook. Like, oh man, Jenna Ortega or not Jennifer Ortega. Well, it's Jennifer Ortega. Jenna Ortega. But
This is
Tara
Australian.
Carpenter's favorite horror movie.
Ooh, this is Australian horror.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
Again, proves my point. It's very underrated horror.
it's fantastic. My biggest
Oh,
complaint
here,
is the
let me
kid.
show you. Where are you?
Yeah, if none of you guys have seen the Babadook, I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix right now. I'd go and check this movie out. It is
Again, not official sponsors of Netflix, but do it.
yes.
This is Bait 3D right here.
Okay.
It's such a fun premise. Easy shark movie. If you could just ignore it, it is technically supposed to be 3D and it's all CGI bad. But if you could get past all that, this is just a fun an hour, 30-minute watch.
It looks like it's going to be like a very major, like B level horror.
It's so cheesy as fuck, but I love cheese. If you do it right, it's Gouda, cheese pun. But anyways. I know. I'm not sure why my friends haven't kicked me down the 300 hole yet. But yeah, I got all the dad jokes in the friggin' chamber right here. But anyways, we're not here to talk about dad jokes.
Yes. Can you imagine if seeing some horrifying stuff in there or other haunted places? That'll be terrifying. It'll make me want to see my therapist or go see a pastor, aka church. You know. No, man, I don't know. I don't believe in ghosts because I've never seen one, obviously, or dealt with that kind of stuff. But yeah,
okay,
yeah, no, I see that. Nope.
See, we're opposite on that because I used to live in a condo set, and the person I took over passed away in that condo, and I easily felt her spirit around the house, and I kept like two things of hers in that house that I didn't change, just as a kind of like a tokening of like, hey, I'm in your place, this is my place, but you can stay as long as you're peaceful. And we just had a great relationship. Like I didn't talk to her, of course, but I could just easily tell I wasn't the only person in that house. But everything, it wasn't haunted or anything. So I am a big believer. And to answer that question real quick, for haunted places, does the Sausage Party count?
The Sausage Party.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Sausage Party?
Sadly, I went to it in theaters.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the haunted place. Okay, like it's my most hated movie of all time. I think that movie should rot in hell and die. And I even heard they're coming out with a series on that.
Oh my!
It was the worst day of my. It was the worst day of my life.
Man, I have a two-way tie for my the movie I hate and despise the most in the world is between Terminator Genesis and Halloween 5.
Ooh, okay. Both of Genesis, I agree, it's the worst Terminator movie. And that's the one with Emily Clark, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's the worst one. Interesting concept, but definitely the worst one. Didn't totally hate it. Halloween 5, I'm getting a better appreciation of it, but still one of its low movies.
Yeah, man. To me, they both just spit in the face of everything that came before it. I feel like
that's fair.
Genesis took all the good stuff from the previous 4 films. They mixed it into a ball. They threw some duct tape around there. Like, here, try this. See if this little Terminator movie will work. No, it doesn't. It sucks.
I thought you were going to say the last one that came out because a lot of people had a problem with it. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't, because they were at their time, 6th or 7th movie into the franchise. You have to do something different, and I appreciate them doing it. And was it the best one? No, but did I have fun with it, with the new concept idea, or just trying it, like you said, throwing an idea out there, see if it worked? I thought it worked for what they wanted to do, but obviously the Kings are 2, 1, and I'm actually a fan of Salvation.
Salvation is so underrated.
I think that's the most underrated one.
Oh, never mind. I won't tell you where that is in my ranking, but yeah, I
Ooh.
like it a lot. Like it a lot. Great movie. Film Kid is here. I made it. I'm watching Steady Lights right now. Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, City
Oh,
Lights.
City
Okay.
Light. Okay, never heard of that one.
Neither have I. Sub Monkey, I wouldn't mess with a Ouija board. I would run and say good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, pretty much. Never mess with the supernatural. Never.
Never.
With the supernatural.
It's even a rule too. Like, don't do it. Like, even the Ouija board, never do it alone. So they even know how serious it is.
Mm-hmm. I saw your Bad Batch reaction. Can't wait for the final season. It's going to be good. It's been pretty good so far. We're about 6 episodes into the show right now, and it's fantastic. It's such a good show.
Nice.
I love Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse as well. It's awesome. It's top 5 for me.
Mm-hmm.
I did like Into the Spider-Verse a little bit better, but it was still pretty good. I haven't seen it since theaters yet, so I need to give it a rewatch.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna rewatch everything, and I was gonna go see Madam Web, and then I started seeing the reviews and everybody's videos, and I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. Gonna wait till it comes out.
Nope. I even watched the last 10 minutes of the movie. Don't do it. Watch 50 Shades of Grey. That's a better Dakota Johnson movie.
Okay, that's one
And I'm not talking about the acting.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I'm obviously talking about sex, but that's okay because you get more entertainment out of it.
Right. I also view with Drew. I also forgot to mention when you see how well done Bane was in The Dark Knight Rises, it makes Batman and Robin's Bane worse.
Mm-hmm.
See, man, I'm one of few people. I think that's another very highly underrated movie. The Dark Knight Rises. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've gotten more better appreciation of that movie. Like, it was a solid 4 for the longest time. It's officially like a 4.5 now. Because again, that's why I think it's the greatest trilogy. Just because with how and first off, Tom Hardy is to me one of the most underrated action stars and actors I think of our time. Because that man can do no wrong in any role he's given. Even Venom, he can actually make that entertaining, even though it's not solidly the best. But like, I've seen movies lately, like Inception, Mad Max Fury Road. Tom Hardy, freaking incredible. And especially his best work is a little movie called Warrior. That movie's badass.
Yeah, that was a great one. I watched that for the first time like 2 years ago. Yeah, that was
so great.
I love Terminator Salvation. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Do you know what like the actual ending of that film was supposed to be?
Was it supposed to set up like Michael Bing's character to go back in time?
I don't know about that, but so at the end of the film, we were actually supposed John was supposed to die. Like, he was supposed to die there on that table. Like, they weren't going to be able to save him. So
interesting.
This is the weirdest part about this. They were going to take John's face and put it onto Marcus. They were going to reactivate him, and he was going to basically just revive and kill everybody in that room.
I'm certainly glad they did fucking do that. like, even you try to explain it to me, it's like, that sucks.
It's so dark. I would have liked it to see it, just to see how it would have played out, but I don't know, man.
Not let's just say, from one of my favorite comedy movies of all time, of Dodgeball, that's a bold strategy there, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for him.
I got my buddy Andy King here. Happy birthday. Thanks, buddy. Hope you're doing good. Do you like H.P. Lovecraft stories? Because the stories are also horrifying and mysterious. It's called the Cthulhu mythos. I have never read H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, I am not a reader, or as the Simpsons movie says, I was elected to lead, not to read. But yeah, I'm not a reader, so unfortunately, I cannot answer that question because I've never even heard of any of that. So I do apologize, Sub Monkey.
I've tried to like get back into reading. I did pretty good for a while. I read a majority of Doctor Sleep, and then I stopped reading it. And then we got a new dog, and apparently it looked tasty, so he ate most of it.
Oh,
Bastard.
ouch.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, man, there was something on here on my letterbox I was gonna share.
Actually, when you're looking at that, by any chance, do you know what one of your favorite movies is that's based off birthdays?
Based off birthdays.
You know, like for example, Happy Death Day, Happy Birthday to Me, I just said Happy Death Day, but movies like in that kind of realm.
God, I guess Happy Death Day is really the only one I can think of at the top of my head.
That's easily my number one right there. Like, cause the movie Tree, like, such a great character. And plus, to me, in my opinion, because this is actually what would have helped the movie Imaginary, and I even said this in my little short review I did on my YouTube short and TikTok, that if Imaginary would have taken on the persona of like what Freaky and Happy Death Day were, it could have easily been a lot more fun and successful, in my opinion. But it just where Blumhouse fails, and you could look up his 4 last movies, and you'll guarantee this. Last 4 movies that Blumhouse did, they tried to be serious and scary. How did those ratings do?
Not very well.
Including Halloween Ends. I know that's I know you like it, but if we're doing technicalities here, if you look at ratings and all that, not worth jack shit. It's because again, it tried to be serious and scary. The last 4 movies did that, all failures. If they could just go back to basics of what made Blumhouse by doing movies like Happy Death Day, Freaky, and stuff like that, absolutely go for that, because I think that is what in my opinion, is their more fun and recognizable movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking about that yesterday. I wonder, who knows? You might even know possibly. Whatever happened to the Ghost House production?
The Ghost House is that based off a book?
No, it's a horror company. Like right before like it starts the film, it has like
Oh,
door closes and it's got like a skull looking through a keyhole.
Oh yeah. Wait a minute. Is that the one that James Wan runs?
I don't
Because
think so.
that was the big news they did recent, or like not too like a long time ago, was that Blumhouse and James Wan's studio merged together.
Ooh,
I think it was Atomic. That was James Wan's movie company.
that guy's career is going to go down the drain.
Yeah, I know. Unless if James Wan can make the Conjuring, make the 4th Conjuring movie, like, please, what are you doing? Please.
The guy who made the last one, that was the director of La Llorona.
Yep. And you can see why that sucked. Even though good concept, but just writing and more importantly, studio meddling is what ruined the movie.
That's what ruins a lot of movies nowadays.
Yeah.
Also saw your Crow reaction trailer. I might watch that as well. Oh yeah. I want to talk about that a little bit. The Crow.
Go for it. I still got time.
Oh man. Okay. So I'm somebody I adore that first film. It's fantastic. Like City of Angels, Salvation's a little and yeah, that Wicked Prayer movie with Edward Furlong. Yeah, that movie that's garbage, straight garbage. But I would be so much more invested in the film if this wasn't Eric Draven.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know they're going for more like comic accurate. So like the makeup and everything for Eric Draven in this is more how he is in the comic book. It's also kind of sucks too, because man, like Bill Skarsgård, like he's doing all these like things where he's supposed to look accurate, like he looks more accurate to how he does in the novel compared to the Tim Curry version we get from 1990. And now we're doing it again here in this Crow movie, and I can't say it looks bad. Like, the dialogue in that trailer made me cringe so bad, but I can't say it looks bad. Like, it looks like it'll be at least decent, but it's just the fact it's Eric Draven. I won't. I don't think I'll be able to get over that, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with you. I feel like this movie could be a lot better if they didn't do like a copy of, like, just like to officially announce itself as a remake. I feel like this movie could do a lot better because, like, easily, like, very interesting look of a character. Like, okay, like, I can maybe get behind this, but yeah, once you put the word Eric to him, expectations right up there. And I don't think that's fair to ask that on Bill Skarsgård because he is a very damn good actor. Pennywise, and all that. So, but however, I watched the trailer. I had no hope going into the trailer, but after coming out of the trailer, I'm excited. For some reason, I'm excited again. And I'm just a mediocre The Crow fan. I've only maybe seen it 2 times. And I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I think it's spectacular. And I've heard about The Crow mainly because of Sting and all that, WCW Sting, The Crow, and that whole story. That was my introduction to The Crow. But with what they're doing with this movie, and with the look and how everything is presented, the world building, that's one of Brad's favorite words. Is like, he loves movies as much as he does. It's the world building. That's what attracts him in. And this movie is no exception. I think the world building of this looks so interesting. I want to dive in and explore that world more. But yeah, I still think the look, like, for the world they're building, I understand the look. Is the look still great? No, but I can actually tolerate it now, for especially the way they want to do it. But so I'm going to give this movie a chance. It's one of my sayings, and a good friend of mine taught me this lesson: don't hate on a movie until you watch it. So you never know. This movie could surprise us. This movie can actually be the dark horse of this year. It's between this and Abigail, so we'll see which one becomes more of the dark horse. But and as Lee from Drum Dumbs kind of calls it, like, Dark John Wick, which, again, I love John Wick, so I'm okay with that if that's what it turns out to be. But I understand people's frustrations about all this. But honestly, with me, I'm ready for it. So I'm ready to go back to the theater and watch it and just enjoy it for what it is.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, I don't want to give it any hate, because that's the thing, is just because the trailer made it look not entirely up my alley, I'm still gonna go see it regardless. Because
And it doesn't give, and it's just, that's the other thing too. That's a trailer, so they're holding a lot of things back with the movie. So they just gave you a little bit of it, but we don't know the entirety of the movie. So it's just like, let's just wait and see, So that's just my opinion. That's my meat and taters on the situation. That makes no sense, but okay.
Yeah, no, I highly agree. Like I said, it's just going to be hard for me to try to, like, separate it. It's the same thing though with the Rob Zombie Halloween films. It was hard for me to get it away from what I'm used to with Michael Myers, and now that I finally was able to separate those 2 films on their own, and have come to love and adore Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, the first Halloween. No, not really. But
and that's actually my point right there too. Is a lot of people. Like, here's the deal. I think from that trailer, it's obviously I can easily be told they went like this in the meeting room. Okay, we're not going to be able to touch this original, no matter how much we do. Like, we copy it or we do something with it. Like, we're not going to touch it. That's okay. Let's just do our own thing. If they like it, great. If they don't, screw it. We're just going to make our own movie, and we'll do everything we can to honor the legacy of that movie and Brandon Lee, which a lot of people, and that's what kind of pissed me off. A lot of people's like, oh, well, this movie's disrespecting Brandon Lee. How? We haven't even seen the movie yet. Like, how could, like, they're not making a shot for shot remake, and that's obviously, you can tell that's not what they're doing here. Because when you look at the trailer, it's just like, let's just give this movie a chance. We know they're going to do their own thing, and I think it deserves a fair chance. If you don't want to watch it, or just fine, don't watch it. Just, you can't hate on a movie you've not seen.
Yep. Highly agree with you on that one, man. Which X-Men members do you like the most? I'm one of the weird ones, man. I love Nightcrawler. That's my favorite X-Men.
Can you do a pound?
Gotcha.
That's a tie for first for one of my two favorite X-Men. The other one is my boy Gambit.
Gambit, okay. Gambit's a good choice.
Love the Stig, love the carts, and the like, dude, absolutely love Gambit. Gambit and Nightcrawler easily, hands down. And you could just tell how sad I was the moment when I heard Gambit is no longer going to be a movie. Fuck!
Would you think you would have liked it even though Channing Tatum was going to play him?
Absolutely, I would have. And I wouldn't care if it's the worst movie of all time. I just love Gambit. And so if I could just get Gambit on screen, it'd be freaking phenomenal. Which, by the way, Gambit's in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Even I loved him. So
yeah, he was pretty good. And then, which film should I check out first? Train to Busan or The Crow?
Okay, to answer this question, because the Crow remake comes out this year, so I'm going to say The Crow. But let's say the Crow remake does not exist. I'm easily going to suggest Train to Busan. But just because of how close we are to the Crow remake, I say The Crow. So you can see for yourself whether you need to go see it or not, if you like that world.
I'm so torn, man. I love Train to Busan. Oh my god.
Me too. So best zombie movie of all time, in my opinion.
Yes, it's in my top 10 favorite movies of all time, and it's in my top 5 favorite horror movies of all time.
Excellent. Or even my screen agrees. But no, I'll say this. We talked about earlier that one of you said that finally real men that cry. Train to Busan. Get ready to bring a box of tissues with you.
Oh, yes, man. I think I would agree, though. I would say probably start with The Crow. It's a more nostalgic film. I mean, you can see why people feel the way that they feel for this upcoming film. So, Sub Monkey says Train to Busan. Either way, man, they're both fantastic. They're both 5 out of 5s to me personally. And Abigail, is that haunted doll? No, that's
Annabelle.
Yeah, Abigail, that's a vampire movie.
Yeah, that's going to be like Dracula's daughter movie. And pretty much, here's the basics real quick. A bunch of people take this challenge to survive a night in this house. And if they survive, they get a money share or whatever. But they don't realize they're trapped in with a damn like a little ballerina girl vampire. And all hell breaks loose. And Melissa Barrera and Catherine Newton are in the movie. And okay, sorry. It's been a while since I've seen The Mandalorian, but who's the main Mandalorian villain that had the dark sword?
The actual villain's name or the actor?
The actor.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, he's in this movie as well, in Abigail, so.
Yeah, it looks good. When I first watched the trailer, I don't know why I thought it was serious. After watching it yesterday in the theater, I was like, "Oh no, this is gonna be like a black comedy." Like,
and you know who the directors are, right?
It's the directors of the Scream movies, aren't they?
Yeah, Radio Silence. So that's like Tyler Gillette and Tyler Bolin Biolante or whatever his name is. I just call him Radio Silence. But yeah, they're in it, and Melissa Barrera, I said's in it, so that's a no-brainer. And Catherine Newton being in it, and she's having a great year so far with her success with Lisa Frankenstein. So it's definitely going to be a dark horse movie for 2024.
I might go check it out. I'm not sure. We'll see. I haven't been the biggest fan of Melissa.
It's my
Barrera's
birthday
acting.
week movie. It's my birthday week movie, so you know I'm easily going to check it out.
Oh, hell yeah. Sub Monkey, I'll give the Crow movie a chance. Yes, at least do that. My favorite is Wolverine, Nightcrawler, and Gambit.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent choices. And yes, we were gonna be getting a Gambit movie, but yeah, that has long since been canceled.
And Channing Tatum would have done that role justice.
I'm always curious if they would have, like, I don't know, done like what they did with Deadpool, like have him just come in and be Gambit, but be like prototype Gambit. And then he gets his own movie. I guess I don't really know. No, oh my goodness, I'll be terrified if I saw an Annabelle doll in my house if somebody gave that to me. I have enjoyed a number of years ago. They did this parody, like just having the doll sit there and like having it move, and people were like cleaning around it, and oh my gosh, this is some good stuff.
I actually watched a TikTok video earlier about like somebody puts like string on a doll and they just like do that and make it look like the doll's getting possessed, and watching people freak the hell out. Hey
fellas,
Connor!
how you doing?
Good. How about you?
Doing all right, man. Happy birthday, buddy.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Hope the stream's been going well. I've been out. I saw your text super late, and I was like, oh, man, I don't know if they're still on. And then I popped in. I was like, oh, great. Okay, cool. I can still stop by. So thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. So I guess before we keep going, I want to get your thoughts on a couple things since you're in here. The Crow remake trailer. What did you think of it, and how do you feel about there being a remake to The Crow?
Thought the trailer. So when the images came out, at first I was like, okay, this is all right. Okay. All right. A friend of mine, Kate, I call her cousin Kate. She's got the same last name as me. She christened him Crow Dirt because of the mullet, which I thought was incredible. I said I will be stealing that, and I have. Thanks, Kate. But I gotta say, after the trailer came out, man, that it looks awesome to me. I'm actually really excited about this. Look, I'm honestly, I have a pretty controversial take on remakes, and it's like, do whatever you want with whatever you want. I don't care. Just make it good. I don't care what you do with the source material. I don't care how much discontent you have for it. I don't care anything. If you're going to make a movie based off of anything, just make it a good movie. It doesn't have to compare to the original. It just has to be good. Mm-hmm. And it looks like that's what they've done here. I mean, it really does look like they modernized the story of The Crow, whether it's the comic book series or the original movie, doesn't matter. They modernized it. Did I love the choice of music in the trailer? I did not. Just not a fan of that.
I actually like the music.
You don't like Post Malone?
At first, when Ozzy came on, I thought it was an Ozzy song, and I got excited, and I was like, whoa. And then I started hearing Post Malone, and I was like, I love you as a person, but please don't play your music.
It seems like Post Malone could be in that kind of world. But
it definitely, I would like to see, I like him as a person and everything, so, cameo would be great, but yeah, I think it looks awesome, honestly. I understand the feelings from people. The Crow's a very important project for them. Of course, Brandon Lee's tragedy around the original movie. But, it doesn't seem like people have the same amount of angry energy towards the sequels that kind of capitalized off of that tragedy. So I'm just going to go and say I'm excited to see it in theaters. And hopefully I can get out and actually see it. But I think it looks pretty cool.
Man, okay. You brought up an excellent point right there that I never thought about or anybody else has brought up. Yeah, the sequels that came out after the original, why aren't they getting hated on? They act like you said best, like they took advantage of that whole situation. While this remake, it's just like I was saying a couple of minutes ago, it's trying to be its own thing. It recognizes it can't touch the original, nor does it want to be the original. They're just taking concepts of it and making it their own movie. And I respect for them for doing that. So you made an excellent point. Why are we hating on this movie when the other sequels should actually get more of the hate?
Well, and that's the thing too, is I know those movies aren't beloved or anything, but people are talking about this one, how could you possibly make a Crow movie after what happened? And it's like, well, okay, first of all, 30 years ago. Okay. Second of all, there were not one, but two movies that came out just after this that replaced Brandon Lee in those movies, and were supposed to be the same Crow, from what I understand. That was what, City of Angels. I can't even remember what the third one's called. They were
Salvation.
Salvation, something like that. It's not, they're not good, and nobody thinks they're great or anything, but like, keep that energy up, hate on those. This is 30 years later. It's a completely fresh take. They're not trying to like CGI Brandon Lee's face in there. Just let it be its own thing,
And the fourth movie is easily the worst. Oh,
I didn't even know there were that many, to be honest. I knew about the two after, but I didn't know if there were any further ones.
Was that the one with Kristen Dunst in it?
The third one is.
Because I even learned that the other day. It's like Kristen Dunst is in these movies. I was like, oh, I bet she's very proud of him. I never heard about it.
Yeah, she's in the third one, and the wonderful and amazing Edward Furlong plays the Crow.
That's right.
And actually, Tara Reid is in there, as well as
and I actually learned that yesterday. And I was like, oh, good for her. She must think it was very special, since I never heard of it.
Haven't heard some of these names in years.
And oh man, what's his name now? The guy who plays Angel in the Buffy movies, or the Buffy show.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh. David Boreanaz, yeah, he's in there too. Yeah, it's
Goth Angel.
Rough. Yeah, it's a rough movie, very rough. Yeah, I mean, like we said, I'm still gonna go see it. I'm not gonna throw any shades on it. I wasn't overly impressed with the trailer, especially their choice of dialogue in that, especially coming from Bill Skarsgård, where he's like looking, he's like, I'm gonna kill them, every last one of them. Like,
I'll say this though, like, if it makes you feel better, some movies, the trailer, like, you know what they say, like trailer moments, like some movies put their best moments in the trailer, but some movies just put a couple good ones and then like just enough to get you there and intrigue you. Hopefully this is more like a Mandy. I don't know if you guys remember when the trailer for Mandy came out a couple years ago, but like I saw Nick Cage saying like crazy evil, and I was like, this is going to be terrible. I'm so excited to see it. And it turned out to be one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I think it's a fantastic movie. So yeah, I think this one definitely deserves a chance for people, but I totally get what you mean. Like, I think dialogue wise, it did not showcase Bill in the greatest light, but acting wise, I think it did. I mean, his emotions and the way he was able to look. So yeah, we'll see. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed. That's about all I can really do right now. Just keep my fingers crossed for right now.
That's all we can do. Cross the bridge of hating it if we have to.
Yes. Ledger Forever. Have any of you seen Totally Killer? Never heard of that.
I have not.
Oh, really? Oh my! It's actually one of the more fun movies that came out last year. It's on Amazon Prime for free. Do you remember? I can't remember her name to save the life of me at the moment, but or Karen Shipka, I believe's her name.
Oh, I know what this movie is.
She the Sabrina Netflix show.
Yep.
Yeah, she's the main girl in it, and
okay.
Yeah, and it's what we call, like how I told you earlier about how like Blumhouse should be more fun horror movies. Totally Killer has that style, the old classic Blumhouse that I want them to go back to. It's just so much fun. It has some good horror. It's got some decent kills in it. And it's a good whodunit too. And it has a cool looking villain guy, good jokes. And it's like kind of like the best way I could describe it without giving too much away. It's like a horror movie Back from the Future in a way.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I highly suggest it. I think it's definitely one of the more fun movies that came out last year.
I'm going to have to check that out.
Well, we got Let's Talk Movies here. Oh, it's your birthday? Oh, happy birthday. Thank you, sir. And anybody else hyped for Godzilla x Kong? We just did a watch along for Godzilla versus Kong last night to prep. I was until I saw the official trailer, and it looks just really out there for me, especially after coming off of Godzilla -1 here last year. Like, Sorry, that's the standard for Godzilla.
What a transition we're going to go from that. Like,
I know to make Connor happy. I know it's like one of his underrated movies, but man, like even Godzilla from 1998, that movie's so overhated.
I would agree. And like, look, I do want to echo what you said there. Like when I heard that they were doing I know they did Godzilla versus Kong. I sort of am a little bit behind on, like I am with everything in movies right now. I've seen the Godzilla when they rebooted it back in 2014 with Bryan Cranston.
Yep.
mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I love this. I am on board. I thought it was okay, but like the universe, I was like, cool. Godzilla looks great. And then I heard that the guy who did Trick or Treat's doing the second one, and I was like, all right, yeah, sure. And I still haven't seen it. And I still haven't seen Kong Skull Island, but I heard people loved that.
It's
so
good.
when Godzilla versus Kong came out, I was like, oh, this is cool. The classic monster versus monster thing. And then they're like, oh, now they're going to do like a team up movie. I was like, okay. And then I saw the trailer and I was like, not for me. I think I'll stop this at Godzilla versus Kong when I do my full series watch, but a little nervous about it. I don't think I'll be seeing it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks a little out there for me to go and watch it now because like Kong's got like a power glove on and they're going through
Gauntlet.
portals. Yeah, they're going through portals, and this orangutan has like a bone whip or something. I don't
Godzilla's pink.
Yeah, Godzilla's pink all of a sudden. People are theorizing apparently that's not Godzilla. I'm like, okay.
That's Godzilla. Like, come on, it wouldn't be Godzilla and Kong. Like,
okay. Nick loved it, so there's your seal of approval.
Oh, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You should play Killer Frequency. You're playing as an 80s radio DJ, and it has a good soundtrack, and you're saving people's lives from a horrifying serial killer.
That sounds awesome.
Cool concept.
It's got 80s music. I'm good. I'll be there.
Let's see.
There's another comment I wanted to go back to get your opinion on too, Connor.
And I got about 5 minutes left. Just want to.
Okay. What do you think is the worst superhero movie trilogy?
God, I would have had to have seen enough superhero movies lately. Trilogy. Yeah, I don't know that I'm qualified to answer this, to be honest. I've seen about 1% of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I haven't seen much, and mostly because of those movies just really aren't for me, like some of them I liked. I like Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I thought that was a really good movie. I liked Black Panther quite a bit. And the DC side of things, I'm just a big DC fan. So, I'll go back to the old stuff or like absolutely loved the Batman. Didn't love some of the other things that have come out from there. So I really haven't been paying too much attention. I mean, I know there were some pretty bad Thor movies in there that I really didn't like. But I don't really think I'm qualified to answer this one. I really haven't seen enough of it to form a good enough opinion about what the best and worst is.
It's actually funny because I actually did say the Thor trilogy was the worst one.
I just like when you have a movie like I remember watching. Was it called Dark Fate? Thor Dark Fate? Is that what it's called? Or Dark?
Oh, actually, it's not a trilogy, so never mind. It's my favorite. It's my least favorite franchise. It's the Thor franchise. That's what I meant to say.
I think that was the Dark World. I think that's what that one's called.
Whatever the name of that one is, I remember watching it and being like, "Yeah, these movies aren't for me anymore. I don't think I want to watch." And I watched Ragnarok after that, and I thought that was better. But yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, no thanks.
And then how about what movie representation of a comic book villain do you think is the worst? He thinks Bane from Batman and Robin.
You're not going to hear me hating on Batman and Robin here. I have a show about movies that are not that bad. I got to keep up appearances. But God, worst representation of a comic book villain. Ooh, man, let me think here. I would probably say Jesse Eisenberg is Lex Luthor for me.
Ooh, good answer.
So like I think he would have been perfect to play a villain. Like, you know, he's got that kind of like squirreliness about him where he could just fit into a role like I could see him being a very in that universe, a very like neurotic Riddler or you know, something along the lines of a character that's a lot less brooding and serious. And I know that people, you know, will say, well, you know, that's not, it was kind of played for laughs in the original Superman movies from like the 70s, but it's like, it's a whole different take on the character. And when he needs to be serious, he is. I can't take Jesse Eisenberg seriously. It's maybe Jared Leto's Joker. I was not a big fan of that, but I think that's way too overhated. You know, I'm not going to get mad at a guy for trying to give his own take on a character. I just think everything that Jesse Eisenberg did for Lex Luthor was just so, it was just so, there was just so many weird choices about it that it didn't connect with me.
But damn, that was a good answer because I totally forgot about him.
Who did everybody else say?
At first, I said Venom from Spider-Man 3, but then I changed my answer to the Shocker and Spider-Man Homecoming.
Okay, I haven't seen Homecoming, but Spider-Man 3 for sure. I totally, I could. I've heard a lot of people say that. I think the casting was just very strange. I get it, you know, he's kind of like Peter Parker, but I don't know.
Well, it's just the thing is, it's just they didn't dive in a whole lot of time. And I feel like I got more time to know Sandman than I did Venom and Eddie Brock, and that's just a major no-no. And I'm a Spider-Man fanatic, so I know what has to happen, and they did not accomplish it. And I'm sure that's a studio meddling. So,
yeah. And look, like Topher Grace is Eric Foreman, and that's it for me. I don't. Really,
dude, absolutely.
I don't have any interest in seeing him in anything else. I mean, like, good for him.
Spider-Man anime series, he was jacked. Like, come on, guys.
You know, yeah, I don't know. That's a good answer too. I think that might be my number 2, but behind Jesse Eisenberg.
I said Green Goblin from Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I did not like those movies so much that I don't remember a thing about them. I remember I remember being like, wow, Emma Stone.
I made that mistake earlier today and people trashed me for it. I didn't want to make you the same mistake.
Thank you. I was like, wow, that's a weird choice. And then I was like, Andrew Garfield, okay, like good actor. Okay, all right. And then I watched them and I was like, not for me. I get why people like them, just like the original Spider-Man movies. I've only recently come around to those, to be honest. I just like the first one because it had Macho Man in it when I was a kid.
Bonesaw is ready.
Love it. I mean, who doesn't love Bonesaw? Oh yeah, I got you for 3 minutes. Love him. But I've come around to him recently because of the love my co-host has for them. But Amazing Spider-Man, I don't see that happening with. They're just not for me.
I was about to say, I will tell you, like, if he felt differently, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 would be in a phenomenal episode of Not Too Bad. Because a lot of people do hate on those movies, and I think it's actually one of the top Spider-Man movies ever created.
Ooh. Hey, I mean, I love hot takes. That's what our show is all about.
Me and a buddy of mine, we could defend the Amazing Spider-Man 2. We cannot defend the Doctor in that movie, but we can defend everything else about it.
That was like our conversation earlier. He was asking me, besides, because I said Freddy versus Jason was my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street. He's like, okay, if we take that out, then what would be your first? I'm like, well, it would technically be the remake. And he's like, oh, another Defender, yes.
So I just rewatched that, and you'll be happy to hear that it did shoot up my ranking as well. For the first time in years. So I was an apologist for many years for that movie. It was one of the first horror movies I had in my collection, and then I didn't like it because, you know, it's got its problems. But I watched it recently again and shot up my Nightmare ranking. Pretty much higher than I think anybody would want it to be. I'll just say that.
Yep, I hear you there. Trust me, I hear you there.
Oh boy.
But fellas, I do have to get off here. But also, I just want to say thank you so much for having me on. And Connor, always great from hearing from you again, my friend. Hopefully, all is going well with you and your channel. I'm always paying attention to your channel. You do a phenomenal job, and both of you keep up the great work.
Right back at you, man. Thank you so much.
Appreciate that. And have a good night, everybody. In the chat, thank you for great questions. Keep it up for these two gentlemen right here with the great questions. So have a good night, guys. And Austin, happy birthday.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care, Brett.
See you guys.
All right. Let's talk movies. I get it. I do. Kong 2005 is my favorite version of either of those monsters.
Oh,
and it took him super serious along the lines of Godzilla -1. Yes. Yes. And Godzilla 98 is way overrated.
Yeah. This is what I like to see, man. You know what? Like, so when I brought that movie to Not That Bad, right? I was thinking in my head, like, it's kind of long. Okay. Like, that's the one thing I can admit. It's a long movie. You're there for a while. Okay. So buckle down, get all the snacks you have in your house, because you're going to be there for a minute. I thought that was going to be the biggest complaint that Gabe had. And then he's like, he trashed everything about the movie. And I was like, no, what do you mean? This is not Waterworld, man. This is great. Sorry if anybody loves Waterworld. Austin, don't spend your time on it. It sounds like you haven't seen it. Don't watch it. Yeah,
don't watch it.
No, please. I look, we are Not That Bad. We like to defend movies. Don't watch it, man. It's not worth your time. It's so, oh my God. Oh, it's the worst episode of our show. It's the worst episode of our show that is currently still on YouTube. I'll say that.
Oh, wow.
We have one episode that's not on YouTube because of reasons. Just a little bit more careful about guests now. But other than that, absolute worst episode of the show. We had no fun recording it, no fun watching the movie. Besides Dennis Hopper, there is no reason to ever turn on Waterworld in my mind.
Okay. That's fair. What are your top 3 horror video games that you recommend to people? Oh, boy. Outlast, for sure. Outlast is terrifying and fantastic. I love it. Depending on how high your level of horror can go, I would probably say Resident Evil 7 for sure. I don't know. I guess those are the only 2 I can think of at the top of my head. So, I think this Super Skrull MCU ruined him. Oh, that must be the.
Is that an Ant-Man villain, maybe?
I'm not sure. Unless that's. I don't know. Well, let's see. The Skrulls. Those are the villains from.
Oh, Super Skrull.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, no idea. Didn't see whatever that's from.
Yeah, I don't know. Not gonna lie, I'm actually cool with Heath Ledger's Joker. I thought he did a good job. He does a good job, like I said earlier, with The Dark Knight. I think it's a good movie. I just don't think it's a good Batman movie. I do think it is overrated, personally.
I would agree with the overrated part. I think it's great. I don't want anybody to think that I'm shitting on it, but I do think, like, people call it the best movie of all time. And like, if that's your opinion, if that's your favorite movie and that's the best one to you, great. But like, it's not my, it's not, dude, it's not even in my top 3 Batman movies. So like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. My favorite is Batman Begins. I think that's the best Batman movie, personally.
Okay. I'm not a big, Nolan trilogy guy. Like I understand why people love them. But I thought Tim Burton's take was dude, honestly, if it really came down to it, if you said, would you rather sit down and watch all 3 Nolan films or both of Joel Schumacher's movies, I would watch those. I'd pick those. I really would. They're fun. Nolan, I think, has a great eye. I'll say that. I think he's one of the best visual directors ever. And I think he's got some great movies under his belt and some great performances. I'll go on record in saying I think Heath Ledger's Joker is one of the greatest movie villains of all time, and I believe that. But man, I don't even. We're gonna go down a rabbit hole if I don't want to do it. I'm gonna rant. I don't want to rant about Batman right now, so I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Red alert! From what I've heard, they're remaking Resident Evil 1. No lie, it's true. I don't know. They already did a remake of it, unless they do it how like the third person over the shoulder. If they do it that way, okay, cool. But other than that, yeah, no, don't remake.
What's your favorite Resident Evil game?
Resident Evil 7.
7? Okay. I have never played 7.
You ever played 7? Okay. For some people, it's too scary.
For me, I just like, I don't play a lot of video games. So if I do, it's going to be like a game where I can just do nothing. You know, I know that sounds weird, but like Red Dead Redemption 2, I go online and I hunt and fish, or like, a WWE game where I'm just playing matches, sports games, where I'm just in franchise mode, just playing through. Like that's the type of stuff that I play now. I don't play almost anything that has like a story anymore. I just don't have the time and the energy. I'd rather, if I'm going to watch a story or something, I'd rather just watch it and not play through it at these days. But there are like great stories that I've played through in the past. But Resident Evil 7, I've heard great things about.
Yeah, it was the first VR game for the PlayStation.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. That's cool.
Oh yeah, that's a wild game to play in VR. Oof. Have you seen any of the Trolls movies? I have. They're okay. They're solid. Oh no, what happened to Connor? Actually, don't mind Godzilla 98. It's good. Godzilla 98 is good, in my opinion. Top 3 horror video games I recommend is Village, Resident Evil 2, and Outlast. Are you in here?
I don't know. Am I?
Popped up here on my screen.
Can you hear me right now?
I can hear you, yeah. I don't know if anybody else can, but I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. I got an error message all of a sudden. Like I was about to ask something. I don't even remember what it was. And then I got an error and I hit a button. Oh, here we go.
Oh, there you are. Okay. Got you back in. Okay. Everybody else heard you.
Sorry about that. People, weird. I don't know what I did. My Google Chrome is rebelling. I don't know what happened.
What the heck? Oh,
my bad.
all good, man. It's not that bad.
Oh. We're live now.
Oh god, that was terrible. I'm sorry. I'll never do that again.
Oh man. What happened?
God, what was it now? Oh, the Trolls movies. They asked about that, and then you logged off like, oh yeah, no, I haven't seen them. Bye.
Oh boy.
And then Ledger, I actually don't mind Godzilla 98. See, it's not that bad of a movie. Yeah, I like it.
It's not that bad. Yeah, I think I'd say it's actually good. That's what I'd say. If I were in charge of a not that bad movie podcast, that's what I'd probably say.
Shameless plug.
Yeah. I will shamelessly whore out our show any opportunity I get. So
hey, it's a good show, man. You guys got a lot of good episodes. I just for whatever reason today, I rewatched your one with Cody Leach about Hollow Man because I've been having an urge to watch it again. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot they talked about that on there.
Thanks.
I gave it a 4 out of 5. Like I like the movie; it's really good.
Cody came on and really loved that movie. And I felt kind of bad because I didn't share the enthusiasm with him. I didn't hate it by any means. I just, it just wasn't for me really. But luckily Gabe liked it pretty well. So it wasn't like a full on, like actually Cody Leach guy who dwarfs our channel and you're following. Right. Here's what I think of the movie you like. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. I have it queued up in my watch later. As soon as I had time, I was going to watch the newest Tales of a Star Wars fan. I'm really happy to see that return. Dude, I
Yeah.
love that series. So happy to see it return. I have it queued up. As soon as I have the time, I'm going to be watching that. And thanks for bringing that show back, man. I love that.
Yeah, I've just been so busy. I got another one I'm gonna work on. I took tomorrow off just to take tomorrow off. So I'm gonna hopefully work on that. And hopefully this week there'll be another episode this week.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, this one is it's a very interesting episode, especially what his overall favorite Star Wars movie is. I'm definitely not gonna spoil it, but it is definitely not one that I have heard very often. Normally I hear like Empire, Revenge of the Sith, like Rogue One, I hear those, but like man, his was I was like, okay.
Good teaser.
I'm like, I respect it.
I'm excited.
Disagree with you, but I respect it.
I'm pumped to hear that. I love me some controversial Star Wars opinions, so I'm very excited to see that.
Oh yeah, there's always plenty of that. Shameless plug for me. I have a 10 unpopular opinions of Star Wars on my channel.
Good video,
eventually,
folks.
I eventually want to do another one because yeah, there's a lot of Star Wars takes that I have that people are like, why really? Like one I would take back though is I know I said like Kylo was a better villain than Vader. I definitely don't believe that anymore, unfortunately. Love me some Vader, but Kylo, decent, not great.
I get it. I mean, hey, if you ever need some additional Star Wars hot takes, always happy to. I got hot takes and everything. Always happy to give help where needed on giving hot takes. So I'm excited to see if you make a second one, and if you ever need somebody else to come embarrass themselves about Star Wars, I'm happy to do it.
That would be cool, being able to have some conversations with people. Like, yeah, because I mean, you definitely for sure. I mean, you have very wild opinions on Halloween, especially your ranking is very, very wild.
Dude, I've been realizing that like I try not to even say that I have hot takes anymore because I look through my letterbox ranking and they're all ridiculous. None of them make sense to anybody. I think I think that's just how I am. I think I just like what I like and I put it together the way I like to put it together. But people outside of me would definitely think that I'm a psycho. So happy to continue to make that opinion to solidify that opinion across the internet.
Yeah. Hey man, again, if we all had the same opinions, doing this stuff would just be boring.
It would be the worst in the world. Imagine talking movies with somebody and all it is, oh yeah, that's great. Oh yeah, that's great. Dude, the conversation would be over. Nobody would be friends with anybody.
Exactly.
This is how you do it, you know? Exactly.
If I liked everything you liked, yeah, this would be a 5-minute podcast and that'd be over. But like no, we gotta say some more about it, man. Like no.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's what we tried to make not that bad about it too, is like, you know, if somebody brought us a movie that we didn't like, you know, that's not an immediate cause for like, you know, don't come on the show. I've not liked quite a few movies that have been on the show so far. That's the fun in it, man. You know, as long as it's a fun conversation, you know, I'm happy. So yeah, it's celebrate different opinions in the world of movies. We need it, or else movie discourse is dead.
Yes, that is for sure. Ledger would like to know, what is your letterboxed?
You can find my letterboxd. It is at President CM. It's capital P and then capital CM at the end. I don't have a lot of my lists public because I don't think people really give a damn. but you know, always happy to throw some things. I do have a couple out there. My Halloween ranking I made public when we did our video and you asked for it. I got movies that I think are 5 stars, which is controversial. You know, I got a couple in there, but you know, feel free to find me on other social medias and bug me to put one up if there's any for some reason you want to see from me. I don't know why you'd care, but I'd be happy to share.
What would you say is your biggest movie hot take?
I mean, like as far as like within like a singular movie, or like with movies in as a whole, as like a a category, I don't know. I have a couple that I think would be considered pretty big. I just recently ranked Rob Zombie's Halloween. Both of them are above the original now, which I know people are pretty feel pretty is pretty controversial. I think a big one that I get people really angry at me about is how I feel about remakes. Like, I don't think a single movie is untouchable. I don't care how much I love it. My favorite movies ever, even Star Wars. In fact, let me tell you how controversial my opinions are about remakes. When they made the Obi-Wan Kenobi television show, and you sort of saw this bridge from like the old generation Star Wars to like new Star Wars, and here's like the bridging between the stories. One of the things I told one of my Star Wars friends that I talked to was, wouldn't it be cool if they did a shot for shot of the original 3 trilogy movies, but they did it with these Leia and Luke actors, and the actors surrounding Hayden, Ewan McGregor, all of them playing the roles of the characters they played in the prequels, just in the later movies, so that we literally have a timeline that exists that are the same characters from episode 1 all the way through to episode 6. I was like, that would be a cool idea. And the lightsaber technology is better, so you'd see the lights on their faces. It would be a continuity that would actually work. And it would never replace the original trilogy for me, but it'd be a cool thing to see, Ewan McGregor start as Obi-Wan in episode 1 and finishes Obi-Wan in episode 6. So that's like, I feel like no movie's untouchable. Either make it with a purpose, like that would be, you're making it with the purpose of continuity of characters, or do your own thing, make the character your own, make the story your own. And I'd say that's the one that I get the most people angry at me with. You're going to tell me you want to see Jaws remade? I mean, not really, but if they make it a good movie, like, sure. I don't think it's untouchable. I don't think any movie is. Remake Wizard of Oz. I don't give a shit. Like, just make it good.
Yeah.
I'd say that's probably my biggest one. But what would you say yours is?
I have so many too. Like,
I know it's hard, man.
I have 2 lists right now. I'm gonna make them into videos, but I have them hidden right now because I don't want nobody to see them. But
I totally get that.
yeah, they're all I can say is one is like my top 10 most overrated movies of all time.
Ooh.
And the other one is top 10 movies that people hate that I love. That's as far as I will go with that.
Oh, I get it. I definitely have. There's a movie that people love, that people unanimously think is one of the best movies of all time, that I do not like. I can acknowledge that it's a very well done movie, but I don't like it at all. And I said it on, I believe it's hidden behind our Patreon right now for Not That Bad. So nobody's been able to cancel me yet. But you know what? I'm gonna text you the movie so I can see your reaction right now, but I'm not going to say it over stream, and I'm sorry for everybody, but I just want to see what your reaction is on this.
Okay.
I'm just going to send you the name of the movie that I don't particularly like.
Okay. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'm one of only 2 people on the earth that don't like that movie. But that's one of my hot takes. And now you see why I don't say it, because even my own father threatened to kill me because of that.
Holy shit.
And that's, by the way, being facetious. He was definitely joking, but he was like, he told me that how can you talk about movies if you don't like that movie? I said, well, I'm doing it pretty okay right now, so
I guess for me, for my opinion of that, I think it's a solid movie. I don't think it's amazing, but it's solid.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, and I understand how people would think it's so great, but like, there's nothing that appeals to me about that movie. There's just nothing. I mean, besides like the craftsmanship that went into it, as a we all love the work and the magic of movie making. But yeah. But I know you guys. I mean, your Star Wars opinions are considered pretty controversial. I mean, you're a defender of the sequel trilogy, which is becoming rarer amongst like the. I mean, God, we're the older crowd now, aren't we?
Yeah, that's getting kind of sad.
Oh man. Well, I mean, most people between my age and I'd say their 40s would probably say like those movies are anywhere from fine to awful. So I think it's cool when somebody doesn't agree with that and somebody's into those movies, but it's controversial. I mean, I've seen people kicked out of groups for liking those movies. So yeah, I mean, it's controversial. I'd say that's probably up there for you at this point. It's getting more up there as those movies become more contested.
Yeah, I mean, the Force Awakens is my second favorite Star Wars film. It's up in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. I mean,
certainly a hot take, I think.
Oh yeah,
I love it. I love it. But yeah,
I mean, it's Jurassic Park, and then Empire, and then The Shining, and then The Force Awakens. And people are like, "Really, The Force Awakens? That's one of your favorite movies?" I'm like, yeah.
Dude, and that's what that's an experience, like movies aren't all like polished, movies don't have to be like when people bring me like their favorite movie, sometimes I get it, but like sometimes I'm like, I don't understand that. And when I don't understand it, that's when I'm like, it has to be the experience. How you feel when you watch a movie is extremely important. That's why Halloween 4 is like number 2 on my ranking for Halloween movies. It's by no accounts a fantastic movie, but when I watch that movie, I am incredibly happy. It is amazing to me for that reason. And so, yeah, like, how you feel about a movie and how a movie makes you feel is so important. And anybody who's like, oh yeah, the movie makes me really happy, but it sucks. I'm like, how do you do that? How do you, I don't get it, but oh well.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a very, very rare breed there.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, there we go. Ledger Forever. Thanks for the follow. Follow you back there. I dig your favorites, Ledger Forever. Got Die Hard, Terminator 2, Rambo First Blood, and Predator. Action centric, and I dig it.
Yeah, I don't think he was very impressed with my my specialist ranking I did last year, especially where I put Predator, especially. Ooh.
So, what did you think of Prey?
It's my favorite Predator movie.
I thought it was really, really good, man. Like, it's up there for me. I'd probably say I like it as much as the original Predator. It has the potential to be higher. I thought it was like the one thing I will say is like there was a moment that kind of took me out that felt like a dude in a costume. But it was just one brief moment. And after that, it was like, man, this is like really solid lead character, solid like side villains. Like, a lot of movies that introduce side villains are like, those are like the worst characters in the movie. I think that was still the case in this movie, but they weren't insufferable. Prey's good, man. I glad to hear that it's your favorite because it's solid.
Yeah, I even have Predators over Predator.
Oh, there's a controversial take. I love that. That's a great take. Yes, that's fantastic.
And even too, like me and Brett were talking earlier. I was telling him I personally think that Alien 3 is like one of the most overhated movies ever.
So, okay, I don't remember much about Alien 3, but I think pretty much the same thing of Alien Resurrection. I think that movie's far overhated. Okay, let's just get something straight. Most movies that are hated are overhated.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, there's no reason for you to be that angry about a movie. When I did like the sequels, I had someone threaten to kill me over it. Legitimately threatened to kill me because of the movie I liked. You should never be that angry about a movie. I'm sorry. You shouldn't. It doesn't affect you that much. So yeah.
Yeah, especially this guy over here. Yeah, like people are saying that they like ruin their lives, ruin their childhood. I'm like, dude,
Last Jedi.
yeah.
That was the one I got threatened to kill over, and I don't like the movie anymore. But like when I did, he was really upset about it.
Oh, I bet. And even though I know you don't like it like at all, but like even Rise of Skywalker, I think is really overhated too. It has lots
I
of
would
great
agree,
moments,
though.
but
No, I would 100% agree. Look, even though I don't like the movie now, I was in tears in the theater almost the whole movie. I was like, oh my god, these characters, I love her. Oh my god, here they are, and they're leaving, and this is so sad. And you know, I may have issues with it now, but like, does it do anything to affect how much I love Return of the Jedi? No, that's still the end of the franchise for me. No matter what, I mean, that's where I cut it off. It doesn't matter. So yeah, it doesn't. I think any movie that is extremely hated is overhated unless it's made by Uwe Boll.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, I just had to take the chance to shit on Uwe Boll.
That's okay. Ledger Forever, thanks for the follow.
Gotcha, buddy. Thank
and,
you.
My buddy Brandon, last Jedi was awful.
Oh, I get both sides of it because I've been on both sides, but I tend to agree with you now, Brandon. It was Brandon, right? I didn't fuck that up.
Yeah, you were right.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, man, it's just like just always keep tradition with you. It's just like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, man. Like how like full swing you went from that, like despising it to like absolutely loving it now.
Yeah, and I tend to do that. Like very rarely, I want to love every movie I watch. Sometimes that backfires, and that backfired with the sequels for Star Wars because I was like, man, I really want to like love these as much as the original trilogy because that's the first trilogy of Star Wars movies I ever got to see in theaters. For whatever reason, I didn't get a chance to see the other one in theaters, but these ones I did, and I wanted to love them for that. But when I rewatched them, it backfired on me, and I'm very upset about it. I want to love them. I want to love every Star Wars movie. I just don't. Same thing with any movie. I think that's how everybody should watch them, to be honest. Don't ever go into a movie wanting to hate it.
Yeah, no, if you do that, you're pretty much, I don't know. I don't like when people do that anyway.
It's just a waste of time, you know?
Yeah, you're just asking to be a toxic person if somebody disagrees with you. Like, no, you're wrong. Okay, whatever. It's your opinion, I guess. Ledger, what's your YouTube channel, Connor? And can I put you in the comments?
I mean, yeah. So we are Not That Bad, a movie podcast. We talk about movies that are rated under a 3 on Letterboxd, unless it is a sequel that has a significant drop. We call it the sequel rule. It's really complicated. We've only had one movie so far, which my co-host picked, is Spider-Man 3. It is above a 3 on Letterboxd, but is it's still pretty hated. But yes, Not That Bad. Do I have the ability to leave a comment here? Let me see.
Should be able to.
Let's see. Okay, I don't have the YouTube hooked up here. Hold on. Let me see what I can do here.
I might be able to.
So if I went to the stream as Not That Bad and I left a comment, I wonder if it would. Let me do that. I can do that. I'm popping in to the chat as Not That Bad in just a moment here, and I will put a link to our channel in there. Thank you for your interest. I hope you enjoy the show. I talk with my co-host Gabe. Gabe is a filmmaker. He actually has a movie out right now that you can. It should still be on Tubi. It's called The Curse of Professor Sardonicus. It's a mockumentary style, sort of like found footage movie, but it is not kind of your traditional one. I am not a found footage fan. I've known Gabe for years now. My collaborations with him go back to like 2017, I think. But I genuinely enjoy the movie. I think it's a fantastic low budget film. So if you're ever looking for something to watch, either pick that up on Blu-ray or watch it on Tubi. But he is my co-host. He is the intelligent one with good takes. I'm the dumb one with bad takes. And that's our roles on the program. So I hope you enjoy if you catch it. Let me pop up in here. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, that's not the one. Where am I going? Okay, here we go. But continue. Yes, continue the discourse.
You guys are definitely a good yin and yang, that's for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, we try to be. We do have. You know what I'll do. I'm gonna link you our website because I think that has links to everywhere. So however you want to watch the show, you can find a link there. And yeah, thank you again. We're working on getting Austin on the regular show. We did get to have him on Patreon while Gabe was away. We covered WWE movies. One of the episodes has corrupted. We are working on getting it back up to Patreon, but the other one is still up there. If for whatever reason you want to support the Patreon, you can catch that and a bunch of other specials we have on there. But we're working on getting Austin on the regular show. I've been pushing for it. We have had a lot of trouble recording lately, but yeah, there should be a link in there for notthatbadpod.com now. So check that out if you'd like. Thank you.
Perfect. And then Connor, he would like to know, do you like G.I. Joe, Transformers, or He-Man?
It looks like, okay, I see it looks like it says for toys.
Toys. And what toys
right?
would you love to have in your collection?
Yeah, so I grew up with He-Man toys and G.I. Joes. I've never been a Transformers guy, to be truthful with you. Whether it's movies or action figures, they just, for whatever reason, never appealed to me. For me, I'm weird all around. I'm not just weird with movies. I'm weird all around. So for G.I. Joe, I'm actually currently collecting G.I. Joe, but I'm collecting the G.I. Joe Extreme line. From the mid 90s or early 90s to mid 90s. It was a very short-lived cartoon series, G.I. Joe Extreme, but they had these really cool action figures. And that's what I'm collecting at the moment for Joe. For He-Man, I'm not really collecting at the moment, but I do enjoy, who doesn't enjoy a Skeletor? I didn't grow up on the series, but my dad is a child of the 80s. He was born in the 70s, but he had the He-Man action figures. So I grew up with all the original action figures for He-Man. I have a lot of nostalgia for like I don't know if anybody else here actually cares about He-Man, but they're making toys right now, which are basically recreations of the retro ones. And I get a lot of nostalgia for those, but not collecting those at the moment. For toys, I collect Star Wars, horror, wrestling, Simpsons, and G.I. Joe Extreme. So that's where I am at a collector at the moment.
Yeah, Connor's a big wrestling guy.
Yes, a big wrestling guy. Action figures are tough for me because I think a lot of the new ones are not as accurate as I'd like them to. So I'm once I kind of get back where I want to, I'm gonna start I don't know if anybody knows bone crunching action wrestling figures from the 90s. I'm gonna try to get as many of those as I can. Yeah, anything WWF or Star Wars, G.I. Joe Extreme, Simpsons, those are the kind of things that I'm putting together right now. And thank you for asking. That's a great question. Austin, I know you're a collector of the Funko Pops. Have you delved into the land of like the Sideshow collectibles, statues, or any of like the old action figures or anything yet? I know you'll get there. Everybody does.
Yeah, I'm sure someday I will. I do have, oh man, I have no idea where it is. I have an Anakin from episode 3, like it's got a lightsaber and he just pushes legs together and he swings his lightsaber around.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I got one of those. Oh gosh. I have my old Spider-Man from like the 97, 98 cartoon, 94, whatever year that came out.
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't know where he is. He's up in this jumbled up mess somewhere. And it's not really old, but I have a NECA black and white Frankenstein monster
Those
somewhere
are
hiding
awesome.
up there. They're
Yeah.
so
Those dude,
expensive,
those
man.
yeah, man, those NECA figures are so great, but they're like I don't know how people have like full shelves of those and still manage to collect other things. I don't get it. How do you have the money for this? How are you
Dude,
not broke, man? Ugh.
I have no idea. I saw so many like yesterday because I walked around Best Buy. Man, they had the original Phantom of the Opera from 1922. They had Creature from
Oh,
the Black Lagoon, Ghostface.
dude, the creature from the Black Lagoon is so good. The NECA figure for it is so good.
I loved it. And oh geez, what's his name? Why can't I think of it? It's right there. Jason from Part 7. They had him over there too.
I'm bad with the parts. Which Jason is that?
The New Blood.
New Blood. I have that, Jason. It's fantastic. I highly recommend that figure if you are a Jason fan. To me, that is the best of the NECA figures that have come out for Friday the 13th, in my mind. So
Yeah.
definitely pick that up.
Yeah, and I know there's a Best Buy in a town like 3 hours from here. They have like Jason from Freddy versus Jason. They have Michael from Halloween Kills. They have another Ghostface. He's got like a corroded mask and stuff. Like,
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. Cool one.
they're so good. I really
Uh,
want more, but
I don't know if you saw this. I don't know. I don't remember. Are you a fan of the 1990 It miniseries?
yeah.
Okay, so Sideshow Collectible, Sideshow Collectibles, which is like the really expensive, like $500 or to $1,000 action figures. They are making a Tim Curry Pennywise, and it is one of the coolest things I have ever seen, dude. It is so good. Multiple heads like they normally do. If any collectors are out there can afford that, go for it. I see some collectors here. It looks like. Funko Pop.
Brandon, he's got
Brandon's a Funko Pop guy.
Oh yeah. Sub Monkey's got Goonies Funko Pops.
Oh, cool.
Most of mine are Star Wars back here. Ghostface Funko, that's one I would love to have too. So
did they I saw somebody posted about a glow in the dark, like the stab Ghostface mask for a Funko Pop. Did they actually make that, or is that something that like somebody photoshopped?
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody made it. I don't know if it's like a for sure thing because they do make glow in the dark Funkos. I know they have one for Vader from Return of the Jedi when he's getting electrocuted. Like I know that's one. I think I just have the standard one, but yeah, that's another one I'd like to get too. God, I love Ghostface. My second favorite horror icon of all time.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Then Ledger gotta go, guys. Loved hearing you guys. Would love to get together sometime soon for some sort of live stream. Sounds good, man.
Cool. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for the follow.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna do it. Definitely just a good little hangout. Like I said, just kind of wanted to come on here and just hang out for a couple hours, hang out with some guys, talk some movies and stuff. Always love doing that. Appreciate Brett, man, for coming on, and appreciate Connor for jumping on too and giving us some hot takes and stuff, which always love.
Anytime you need it. Thank you for having me here, and certainly hope that the rest of your birthday evening goes well. Thanks for letting me share a little bit with you.
Oh yeah, man, no problem. So yeah, guys, just stay tuned. Like I said before, possibly again, knock on wood, later this week there will be another episode of Tales of a Star Wars Fan out. That is going to be Pop the Bounty Collector is his name. So just make sure you stay tuned for that. And otherwise, with that being said, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you in the next one.